High Heel Gamer, and this is The Breakdown. What? Hey, everybody! Hey, and you know what that means? It's time for The Breakdown. What? I'm your host, Catherine, aka The High Heel Gamer, and guess what? I am joined by the lovely Molly Roth.
Hello.
Hi, Molly. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So Molly is the creator and artist and writer behind We Adopted a Superhero comic. Molly, tell us a little bit about your comic.
Okay, so We Adopted a Superhero is a series of comic strips about adoption through the eyes of the older sister who isn't adopted. And to spice things up, her younger adopted brother is a superhero, but she feels jealous and resentful of her brother because her parents are paying more attention to him because, like, with adoption, that's kind of necessary at first. And then, like, to add it on, he had, like, later he gets becomes a superhero, and that just piles up. And so, yeah, my little brother's adopted, so I'm getting experiences from there and other siblings of adopted kids.
Okay, so it's interesting that you take the aspect of the jealousy, which is a thing that really does happen. Like, I have I'm the oldest of 5 kids, so it happened quite frequently for me. And a lot of people don't portray that aspect, or they touch on it just for a little bit, but you dive right into it. What made you decide to go on that route of it all?
Well, so I'm working on a project for Girl Scouts, and they want really in-depth projects. So I was like, I want to do something with my art. And my mom was like, what if you tell a story about adoption? So I looked up problems that people siblings of adoptees face, and that was the one that was there. So I was like, okay, I can do this. It's simple enough that I can work with and write a story and help them out with. So yeah.
That's actually really cool. I do like that. I like nitty-gritty realism, because a lot of times comic books or stories, movies, everything, etc., just kind of touch on these things and not really dive into it. So I actually appreciated the fact that you actually dive into this, and because it's a real thing. It really is. Are you using any of your real experiences? Did you have a little bit of jealousy when they adopted your brother?
Okay, I don't think I ever connected it to the actual adoption. I think there are things I would have been jealous of anyway. Since there's this 6-year gap between me and my brother, so my parents got a little less strict on certain things. Mm-hmm. And even now, I'll be like, when I was your age, I had this sort of rule. So this is actually kind of eye-opening because I'll be writing this and I'll have these feelings that I actually feel, and I'll be like, oh man, I've been bottling up more than I realized.
It's kind of cathartic for you, just relieving all of this.
It's also eye-opening. I need to fix things with myself.
But you and your brother do have a great relationship.
Yeah, we do.
And so the comic strip is mostly on your Instagram page, is what I noticed.
Yes, it's also on my Facebook and my website. But.
Okay. Oh, I didn't. Okay, so you see, I only stalked you on Instagram and Facebook, and then I saw that you had a YouTube, which is very, very new. The YouTube is brand spanking new. I like that you actually show your process of your artwork. Was that something that she was like, oh, this is a new avenue for me or was it because you saw someone and you got inspired by that?
So we were trying to figure out ways for my website to show up more or to expand my brand. And so we saw this thing that said get more social media accounts, and YouTube was pretty easy. And I had seen stuff where you draw on fast your process. And so I was like, okay, I can just do that for videos. It's easy enough. And so that's what I did.
Okay. So our producer Jack and the host of Issues with Jeff found you at Comic-Con, mini Comic-Con, Charlotte Mini Con.
Yes.
Was that your first convention?
That was actually my first convention. I wasn't planning on going like a week before it happened, but
Oh, really?
my project advisor had told me to go to comic stores so I could get some advice. And then I went to Heroes Aren't Hard to Find. And they were like, we have a mini con on this Saturday. You should go. And my mom's like, yeah, you should go. So we went. And I talked to people. And then my mom's like, oh, these Issue With people are really nice. You should talk to them. And so I talked to them. And I was like, hey, please follow me. And they're like, what if we had you on your show? And I was like, okay, then.
Aw. Yeah, because they always know who works and who doesn't work, you know. And I'm not dissing anybody. Everybody's great, but there's some people that it just doesn't sync with, if that makes sense. So I liked your comic. It's very well written, very well illustrated. Do you have like family members that are this artistic and this talented?
Okay, so my grandpa paints these like realistic things, and then my sister also paints and sketches. You can't really see it from this angle, but there are some on the wall over here.
Oh,
yeah, there it is.
Cool.
And then my other sister is getting into digital art very recently. So basically, we're all in it, except for my brother. Yeah,
because he's still kind of young.
He'll get there one day.
He will. Well, with so many artists and talented people in his family, he would have to at least dabble in it eventually.
Yeah, he likes painting with my grandpa, so that's something.
That's fun. So your mom sounds very supportive of everything that you've done. Is she the one that introduced you to comics?
No. It's interesting. So I don't actually read a lot of comics.
Oh, okay.
She has been doing the Gold Award project with my sisters, so she was really well versed, and she was like, she gave me the adoption idea, and then she was like, to spice it up, you could have it like for superheroes, so it goes more for kids. And I have watched the MCU movies,
okay,
and I like them a lot, so that's how she knew that I would like doing that. And so yeah, I was like, okay, I'll do that. That sounds fun. Yeah.
So the superpower, can we reveal the superpower that your brother has?
Yeah, it's been revealed.
Okay.
He can control the weather with his emotions. So it's more volatile now that he's younger, because like he's crying all the time, so it's raining all the time. But it rains all the time here in North Carolina anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
True story. What made you decide to go with weather changing?
Honestly, I don't know. I think it's like a commonish trope that you see sometimes. I don't know how common it is. And then I think it might have just popped into my head, and I was like, oh, this would be good, because then like with all the adjustment issues, there'd be a lot of changes, and then it would be fun to see how a little girl would like react to this, and how she would want to take this to her advantage for snow days and stuff. Spoiler alert.
Well, we like a little bit of spoiler alerts, and we do like exclusives. So that's a little exclusive for us on our end as well. So now that you're getting into comics, or not getting into comics as like reading them, but
right,
doing them themselves, do you think you might do more conventions?
I did plan on having a booth at the library conventions near me, the ImagiCon with Charlotte Mecklenburg, and then the SuperCon with Union County. Due to complications, the ImagiCon has already been canceled, because that was in July. But hopefully it'll all be over by the time we reach September.
Yes,
so
God willing.
I'm going to try to be there. But yeah, I don't know. other than that.
You're very fan oriented. I noticed that you do contests and surveys, and the logo that you have is actually from a contest that you held. Did you feel like that was something important to you going into all of this, to be fan oriented?
No. So, and you've already heard a lot. A lot of this is centered around this project. Originally, a lot of this was just going to be me and only me, because I'm that person who hides in their bedroom all day. But then they were like, you have to do more leadership things. You got to get more people to help you. So that's why I had the contest. And it was great. It was really fun to see all those different submissions and like choose from them. Well, that was hard because then I had to say you didn't get in. But it was fun to look at them. So...
Don't even get me started, because I hold contests as well. And the first one that I did, I was like, oh my God, so many entries. Oh my God, only one winner. Like, it was, so I completely understand that whole process of, you know, having all this great feedback and submissions, but then only picking the one. Do you think that you might hold more contests going forward?
I don't know. It's a good idea. I might just steal that from you.
You
Did I just go in the wrong direction? No. Okay, steal that from you.
Don't worry, I'm always like wrong. So, and also you did a little survey too, where people got to like either tell a short story. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so the survey is for siblings of adopted kids. And so with the survey, simple questions like, do you want your name? Anyway, then there are other questions about like your experience with the adoption process, if you can even remember it. And then at the end, the last little question is tell us a story that you experienced with the adoption of your sibling, and it will be incorporated in my comic strip. So I'll find a story and then I'll make comic strip for it and then I'll post it, but not like immediately, obviously.
Yeah. No, I thought actually that was a really, really smart and fun idea, because not everybody has the same experience, obviously, being a sibling, whether it be an adopted, having an adopted sibling come into your home, or just a regular, birth sibling. Everybody's experience is different. So do you have more stories lined up for this, or is this kind of like an inspiration driven type of thing? Like, oh, well, this is a good story for today. Or do you have like a slew of stories already?
I have them lined up. It's really funny because I had a trip to DC and my mom had given me things I needed to get done by the end of the trip. And so at DC and on the car ride home, I had like typed up the different strips I was doing, and then every so often I'll be minding my own business. I'll be like, I can't believe I forgot this. So I don't even think I go in. I think I just internalize it and then draw it.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Now, is your little brother still a baby? Like, how long ago was this whole adoption thing, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That was what I need to think about this. 8 years ago, I think it was 8.
Oh,
he's 9 right now. So yeah, he's definitely older. He's doing schoolwork. Well, not right now, but he does schoolwork now that he's at home due to virus. And I'm trying to do schoolwork because I'm homeschooled. And yeah, my headphones are good friends these trying times.
Ain't that the truth, girl? Headphone buddies. You have a big family to begin with. Are you the youngest of the other set of siblings that you have? It's all girls, correct?
Yes. So there's 4 kids, all girls but my brother, and I was the baby before Micah. But I didn't even I read these chapter books and they're all like, I want to stay the baby. I didn't react like that.
That's funny. Do you think you might incorporate your older siblings into this, or you're just going to keep it strictly like the you character and your brother character?
For the sake of simplicity, this is a 4-person family, the
Okay.
2 kids and parents. But my siblings' experiences are going into it because they took the survey, so yay for them.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a family affair, if you will, because it's pretty cool that they supported you that way and did the survey as well.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah, because even though you guys are in the same family, I'm sure each of you had a separate experience going.
Yeah,
into
especially
this.
with the ages and like the outlooks. And so yeah, it's nice to have a supportive family. This is to you, sisters.
So you said you're into the Marvel movies.
Yes.
Is there a particular character that you like from the MCU?
This might seem kind of stereotypical. I love Peter Parker and SpiderMan. And it isn't just because of Tom Holland, though he is a contributing factor. I liked Spider-Man before. Then I watched Homecoming. That was actually my first Marvel movie.
Oh.
And I really liked it. And so, yeah, Spider-Man. Any Spider-Man I will love.
Any Spider-Man you will love. What is it that draws you exactly, aside from the cuteness factor? Which there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you're gonna pick a cute character, that's one of the top ones to go with. Aside from that, do you see any characteristics of Peter Parker in yourself?
Well, so he's young, and so he I don't know, like, in myself, but he struggles with school things, and he helps his aunt out, and so I don't know, I really like his dynamic as Peter Parker, mainly like Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man as a superhero, but I'm really attracted to the Peter Parker side of him and how he's just a relatable kid balancing all this. So yeah, that might seem.
Out of all the superheroes, Peter Parker is the more relatable one, because he's the more, in a sense, realistic one, because it is social awkwardness, which a lot of us comic book readers struggle with. I'm socially awkward 100% all the time, so that makes a lot of sense. So I do want like even more exclusive. I am that person, and please feel free to say no.
Okay.
But do you think you might incorporate other superpowers into your adopted brother?
Not into him specifically.
Ooh.
I might, who knows, incorporate other superpowered people, and then you'll see other superpowers. For this one arc, we're gonna be kind of just focusing on the weather sort of theme.
Okay.
Try not to spoil too much here.
No.
Who knows? With the other things that I might have planned, we might see more. So stay tuned.
How exciting! Now you said you're in Girl Scouts. Right?
I am. Yes.
How did they respond to the project? I know this was kind of like the assignment that they gave you. How did they respond to it?
They liked it. So it's so complicated. You come up with the idea, then you submit it through email.
Okay.
Then if they like it enough, they email you back saying they want an interview, and at that point they won't reject your idea, but they might like tell you to fix more things about your project, and then like you go through that process. Fortunately, I managed to go one interview, and then I was able to start. But so they liked the idea. Actually, my Girl Scout advisor, because too many of these advisors, she's a comic fan, and she was the one who was like, go visit the comic book stores and go to comic cons, and so yeah, that was helpful.
So what kind of art were you drawing before this? Because I mean, it looks seasoned, meaning like you've had a lot of art experience. What kind of art were you creating beforehand?
So I started like 2 years ago at this point, maybe 2.5. And mostly I was drawing portraits of characters from either TV shows or just my own original characters, that sort of fun stuff, or myself, because I'm just that narcissistic. I don't think I said that right. Anyway.
I never say any words right, so don't even worry about it, girl.
But darn, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I've been working into like anatomy more. Inktober, which is like the October prompts challenge. When I realized I was doing this, I was like, oh man, I need to get my posture better. So I went in, and almost every one of them has like full body, so I can get that better. And it worked. Who would have thought?
Yeah, Inktober is a big thing around this house here. I'm the only non-artist in my family. Exactly. I'm like, stick figures, I'm your girl. Anything else, go somewhere else. Yeah, so I definitely, but I do like seeing what Inktober does to artists. Like, it pushes you out of your comfort zone in a way. And I guess that's what it did for you with the whole posture thing of it. So this is more for the younger people that are kind of getting their foot in where you already have your foot in. Do you find yourself comparing your stuff with somebody else's?
All the time. Okay, so I just recently watched your interview with Hans, and he has all these really nice art, and I'm like, oh man, mine's not that good. And so you can't do that because obviously you hear this all the time. I'm probably quoting someone. You can't do that because you're at your own level, and they're at their level, and they've been doing it longer. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they're just that good. Maybe they've been doing it harder because I've been lazier this year, except not anymore. But I was lazier last year, I guess. But I have been comparing myself, but everyone's at their own level, and you will get there to the point. Look at last year's work and go, why did I think this was good? Because that was the level you were at.
Yeah, and you know what? That's actually a thing that a lot of people tend to do. Even writers, they'll write something and be like, man, I wish I was as good as this person. But you hit the nail on the head where it's, everybody's at different levels. Everybody has different art styles as well. So with that being said, if let's say somebody's watching this and they're kind of nervous about doing any type of project, what advice would you have now that you've passed the hurdle of the first strip?
Honestly, first of all, your motivation is very important. You have to be doing it because you enjoy doing it, not because you want people to like what you're doing, because that is the blunder that will cause you to be miserable. When you're nervous about showing something you love, you just got to push through it. Like, I was nervous going on here 30 minutes ago. No, it's more than 30 minutes. But you just got it. Once you're there, once you've done it, it's like this weight being lifted. You just got to push through. And then you have to be able to deflect if anyone has like bad things to say about it. Because if you love it, that's what matters with art. It doesn't matter if someone else doesn't love it, because it's your baby. Don't let anyone else say otherwise.
Aww. See, this is what I like, because I tend to ask that to adults, and sometimes it sounds kind of adult-ish, you know what I mean? So I definitely wanted younger viewers to hear a younger person say that, and you say it with such sincerity, such honesty, and I really, really like that, because it is true. You do have to push through it no matter how you may feel about it, because in the end you do love doing what you do. But I wanted the young folks to see our young guests feel the same way.
The joys of youth.
Yes, the voice of youth. I love it. I used to remember when I was young. But I'm glad that you overcame your fear. It's just little old me talking to great you. I wanted to ask, your YouTube, like I said, it's very brand spanking new. Yes. Are you planning on doing more videos that way too? Is it just, or I guess what I'm trying to say, is it just going to be geared to you drawing, or are you going to do other things on your YouTube?
Actually, I was on my walk yesterday and I was thinking about this, and I was like, it'd be good because that art style challenge where you do different art styles with your original character. And so I think I might be doing that not this Saturday, a Saturday, I guess. with do different art styles with my main character with the comic Sarah, and have that on YouTube and make it more interesting for people who want something new. Not that there's only one video right now, but that's what I want to do. So
that sounds like fun. I actually, oh my God, I can't even remember who I think it was the previous interview that I did. I don't remember. I know I asked the artist about like maybe if they thought about doing their character in a different type of style. So it's funny that you just said that because I suggested that to somebody else. Look at me knowing almost what I'm talking about. It's always a good moment around here. So now that you're diving into comic strip world and possibly going to conventions whenever they come back, have you thought about picking up like a comic, not so much to collect the whole thing, but just to see how the panels are done and drawn in that?
Well, I have picked up a couple.
Okay.
So I have this one like little kid, the kids superhero comic strip to see like kitty art style, that sort of humor. And then I did once again see that Adventures of Robin Hood comic. I got that at the mini con, and it was really fun. I really liked it. So yeah, actually, I might like at the library if it ever opens again. Get like a comic strip to read, because I do like Calvin and Hobbes. I love Calvin and Hobbes. My grandpa has them, and I love reading them when I can.
Oh, that's a Calvin and Hobbes is definitely a good one. A lot of people tend to forget that nice little comic strip because it's so cute and so fun, and then so simple too, because it's not a lot of words bombarded on the pages. So it's a lot of fun. So okay. I thought we lost you for a second. Sorry. Do you have a physical book or are you planning to do a physical book of your strips?
Not yet. Okay. When I'm done with this first arc, which will take a very long time because the origin story will take a very long time. I will have a book, a printed book. It will be on Indie Planet, but not right now. Probably in like June.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm almost halfway through, but that's a big almost. Like 20 out of 60 at this point. But yeah, I will one day.
Okay. That's exciting. Well, when you do, I'll be the first to come get it because I really do love. I just like the realness of it, where it's not like, oh, my brother has superpowers, I love him so much, let's fight the world together. It's like, oh great, here's another thing, this kid is taking attention away from me. And I know that sounds kind of harsh to say, but like I said, I'm the oldest of 5, so it's like, great, another one.
Sadly, human nature is very harsh. It is a bummer.
It is, but you do it so well, and it's not exaggerated. It feels like it comes from an honest place. Not necessarily that you feel that way, but it's written like anybody can relate to it. So I enjoy that a lot.
Thanks. Yeah. I love character arcs. I'm writing like a novel on the side because I love writing too. I love stories and I love characters, which is why this is like a very character geared story. It's a lot about her growth and her relationship. And so character, like, you have to make sure that the feelings they're feeling is very real and very understandable, and that their growth isn't like, oh, suddenly everything's better, because that's just how it goes.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because there's been times that I'm a big reader. Like, I love reading, and there's been times where I read a book and one thing is happening, and then next thing it's like a complete opposite reaction of what this character may have been feeling. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense to this character. I'm so confused. So I'm glad that you are smart enough to know that it is a growth process. So that's always good.
Like, if there seems to be a good change, there's gonna be like that relapse. life hurts. Life stinks sometimes.
So before we wrap it up, I want people to go follow you. So tell them where they can find you social media wise everywhere.
Okay, Instagram is We Adopted a Superhero. And then Facebook, because I can't be consistent, is Superman's Sister. And then the website is weadoptedasuperhero.com. And the YouTube is We Adopted a Superhero. So I guess Facebook's the odd ones out here. But
yeah.
I just, okay.
But don't worry.
I just said a YouTuber name, so that was an accident.
Don't even worry about it. We're going to put all the links and people are going to find you. They should find you because it is great and I love it so much. And I'm super excited to have gotten to meet you, Molly.
Thanks. It was
I hope you had fun.
I did have fun. I had a lot of fun.
Good. And we'll definitely have you back again once, more issues come out and maybe that novel that you're working on. Hey.
Yeah, maybe. That would be a long way off, but I'll call you in 4 years.
I may or may not be around.
Well, we'll see.
Thank you so much, Molly, for tuning in. As always, like, share, subscribe, go follow Molly. We Adopted a Superhero is a great story. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye, everyone.